was a very messy day. There's just like stuff everywhere because I've been filming and had a clothes crisis yesterday, so I'm gonna clean it all right now. Hey, it is, oh gosh, what is today? Is today Tuesday? No. It might be Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Wow. It feels like it's Friday or something. In either case, I finished Lady Windermere's Fan last night before bed. I finished it up. It was quite short. I did really enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. I loved it, as always, all of Oscar Wilde's works, obviously, but if you want to start getting into Oscar Wilde, or maybe you haven't, this is a pretty good place to start because it's really short, and it's pretty simple, simplistic plot, just kind of everything, really. Am I going to say it's the best of his work? Obviously not, because we have The Picture of Dorian Gray. But it was still really good, really enjoyed it. I tabbed a few parts with some cool lines that maybe I'll read right now because I only tabbed a few. This is the play that has that very famous line, the one that's like, we're all in the gutter. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. But I like this line too from Dumby. He says, in this world there are two tragedies. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. The last is much the worst. The last is a real tragedy. Good morning. So I just boiled some hot water and added some turmeric, cumin, and lemon juice to it. It's very strong, like extremely strong. It's gonna take me a while to drink, but it's so good for you if you've never tried golden turmeric tea or golden, what is it? Just a drink with turmeric in it, and cumin is really, really good for you too. Hi guys, it is Wednesday now. It's getting on. I think it's almost 6 o'clock, but I just sat down. I just finished filming my April wrap-up, which took me a very long time because I talked about books for way, way too long. I'm almost done my hibiscus lemonade, and I think I'm gonna probably go inside now to make some food because I'm really hungry. I made some apple streusel muffins today with my mom, and I'm gonna pick today to my next read that I'm gonna start because I'm very excited because I finished Lady Windermere's Fan, like I said, loved it, absolutely loved it. And now I'm very excited to see which book I'm gonna read next. So I think I'm gonna get out of this car, get something to eat, and then I might come back in the car because it's raining again, and you guys know I always sit in the car like a weirdo when it rains. So that is the plan.
Do you want to play video games?
Hi guys, it's Thursday now. This morning I had such an amazing Skype call with my friends. They all have booktube channels, you guys know them, I talk about them all the time. Mary, Kira, Lucy, and Carolyn. It was so much fun. Kira's doing her yoga teacher training. And she's doing wonderfully because this morning she actually led us through a session and she taught us this little about 20-minute yoga session. It was so relaxing, so amazing. I'm so glad, and I can't wait to do like another session with her. And then we have this call where we planned a whole bunch of things that hopefully I'll be able to announce very soon because we're all just like sizzling with excitement about this. And the stuff we talked about this morning, so that is amazing. I also have some book mail, more book mail that came in. I am so excited that this book is here, and I'm also really, really trying to kind of keep down how much I want to talk about 100 freaking Years of Solitude. Like, if you have read this book, okay, wait, okay. I think the first thing I want to say is that I feel so inept reading this book. I'm still loving it immensely. I can tell that it's going to become one of my favorite books in the whole world, which is crazy. I have tabbed so much of this book, and I am just absolutely, I'm obsessed with it. I'm so obsessed. I'm obsessed. I haven't been this like, I haven't tangled myself reading a book this much in a very long time. So if anyone has read this book, please feel free to come yell at me. I'm only 180 pages through. I'm at the kind of part, it's like the second revolution, I want to say. Not in the not in the meaning that a revolution as an uprising, but a revolution as like one full circle, one full turn of the clock kind of thing, because now the book has kind of started the same way that the very first sentence of this book begins with Colonel Aureliano Buendia, and now it's starting kind of the same way over again with Aureliano Segundo. It's very hard for me to try to explain this book because, like I said, I feel so inept reading it. Mostly I think because I don't really know a lot of the history of Colombia. I would love to. I need to go read so many articles, so many essays, so many history books on Colombia after reading this or before reading this. It's also a book that I literally want to start reading from the beginning right now, and I am halfway through. Like, I just want to start over. Because I've tabbed so much, I've tried to keep track of so much, but it's so difficult, especially because I'm listening to this via audiobook, so then when I like hear a part, I have to like go back and try and find it, and then try and deal with the text that way after hearing the voice of that text, which is just so immaterializing in a way, and it really brings you out of it. So I just want to read this book like by myself. I want to be like healthy enough to do that, and I can't even speak. I'm going illiterate reading this book, and it's amazing. It's amazing. However, the book that came in the mail this morning, I'm so excited. It's absolutely stunning. It is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and I got the Penguin English Library edition. This is my first ever Penguin English Library edition that I have. I'm so happy to have this. You guys know, you saw my last vlog that I bought this, and it's here now. It arrived remarkably fast. Wow. Chapters, you're really on it. Thank you. Sponsor me. So Wuthering Heights, I have read. I read Wuthering Heights for the first time when I was 14 in grade 9, or freshman year of high school, which was just crazy, and I haven't reread it since then. I've read snippets and parts of it and everything around it, but I haven't done a full cover to cover reread of it, and I'm just dying to do so. So I thought that I would order myself it in the Penguin English Library edition, and it is here, and it is stunning. My initial thoughts, if anyone else is kind of looking into the Penguin English Library editions, if you really want me to go into like nitty-gritty stuff, the paper quality is a little bit weak, I want to say, but on the kind of pro side, they're very floppy, and you don't have to crack the spine. If you hate cracked spines, this one doesn't really, you don't need to crack it, and it doesn't look like it would crack anyway. But other than that, I love it. There's definitely like a little bit of space to write in the margins if you're annotating. And I'm just so happy that this is here. I literally want to start this right now, but I am also just so obsessed with 100 Years of Solitude. I'm gonna go listen to a little bit of this right now. So yeah. Another exciting news, I just finished almost organizing all of my shelves on Goodreads. I've had Goodreads since 2012, and I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat where either like your want to read shelf has 5,000 books on it, or your rating system has changed so drastically as you've grown up, because I've grown up with this website. Hi, Sugar Plum Fairy. Do you want to come up? Okay, lay down. Yeah. And then you're just so ashamed of the ratings you give, whether you rated this really, really great work of art 1 star, or whether you gave 5 stars to this really crappy YA, and you want to change it, but that will take like 5 days to work through. So I haven't changed any of my ratings. And I probably won't change them unless I do reread that book, just because I don't think it's really progressive for my time. But I have gone through and basically categorized all of my books to some extent. I am trying to make it quite specific, and I think I do want to eventually go back and make it even more specific. So far, these are all of the shelves I have, starting with adult fiction, nice, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and then Chinese lit, classics, dark academia. I feel like there's more dark academia. I feel like I'm missing some, because I know I've read more than 2 dark academia. Oh, come on. There's totally more dark academia books than that. If like anyone goes and creeps through my Goodreads shelves, that's totally fine. I just want to let you know that some categorizing might have gotten a little bit lazy. For example, if something is nonfiction and a book about science, I'll probably just have it in the category that is science, because like I'm just a little bit too lazy right now. I feel like I've read more books about ancient Egypt as well. Apparently I've read 90 classics, which is kind of cool. I have a category that's called dark and spooky. I've read 32 dystopian books, all of which I pretty much promise you are YA. I've read 20 essays. See, I don't know if this is updated because I feel like there's more books I didn't actually categorize. 24 fantasy. I have 12 books in my French literature, 7 in Gothic. I have 32 historical fiction. This is the problem. I've made categories for like Italian literature, French literature, Japanese literature, Korean literature, Chinese literature, Russian literature, and basically I'm gonna, I don't know, see that's the problem. I have so many YAs that are by so many different authors, a variety of diverse authors from different backgrounds and countries, but I'm like, do I really categorize those, or do I just categorize something literature? Do you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily a classic. Okay, maybe just classics. Maybe I'll do it just that way. I don't know. But that's the thing. Like, I've created categories even if one book fits into it. For example, in Italian lit, I have one book in there. And I'm pretty sure it's a textbook. But they're there because I want them to grow, kind of thing. So that's why they're there. I've read the most of Japanese lit, I think. Maybe Russian? Nope, Japanese. Of which 3 are Murakami. So that's what I mean. I would love to branch out so many places. I've bought so many books recently that will allow me to kind of branch out more and diversify, which I'm really excited about. I have a category called magical, which I've just loosely put in anything that I consider to be full of magic. But then I also have a separate category for magical realism. I have mythology, folklore, and retellings, which are just any mythology books about whatever mythology that might be, or any retellings of a myth or folklore or legend or whatnot. They're all in there. I have 40 nonfiction. I have philosophy as a category, which I would like to expand a lot more. If anyone has any recommendations for philosophical texts, yeah, tell me, because so far I only have a textbook in here, and then I have Edmund Burke's Inquiry. And then I have 14 plays, 21 poetry books, which is kind of cool. And then I categorized also the time periods of Renaissance, which I would like to have more in, honestly. I have romance as a category, but I kind of just added books in there. I mean, almost every book has a romance of some kind in it, but I kind of just put books in there that had romance as like their main plot line or their main focus. I have read 31 sci-fi, which is really cool. I really like that. I didn't think I had read that many sci-fi books. My favorite sci-fi is probably A Canticle for Leibowitz by Walter M. Miller Jr. Really love that one. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is great. And then mostly the rest of these are YA, I want to say. Oh, Neuromancer is probably my favorite one, actually. Oh, and Frankenstein, duh, and The Prestige. Guys, sci-fi is such a wonderful genre. I just, I love it so much. Why is Restore Me in here? See, I don't know. There's so many conventions that are set up to categorize stuff, so sometimes it's just hard, to have like a perfect system, I guess, which is frustrating because I like cataloging books. And then short stories, 17. I have a tab for theory and criticism, which I need to add a lot more to. I think I've read more than this, but oh, that's the thing, I guess Goodreads doesn't count them because they're not long enough or people haven't made them. I have a category for Victorian literature, which isn't, it's both literature that was written in the Victorian period and literature that is set in the Victorian period, if you are interested in anything like that. So for example, there's a lot of obviously Charlotte Bronte and all the other Victorian authors, but then there's stuff like the Madman's Daughter series, which is like a YA about Victorian retellings. The last category I'm gonna add for right now is young adult, which has 194 books in it, which is insane. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So there it is. I'll probably go back and make it more refined and categorize it more later, but For right now, I'm too tired. It's almost 7, so I think I really am gonna go make some pizza now. I'm also just really intensely missing my apartment right now. I miss my books a lot, honestly. It's a weird feeling, but I do. And I miss making videos there. I miss being there. I love that apartment. I really, really love my apartment. The other thing I really miss is my university. Oh my gosh. I miss it with my whole heart. I miss it. I miss the lectures and textuality and my life there and the way that I existed on the campus and doing essays and doing work and reading, and I miss it. I miss it. I miss university. I miss school. I don't think anyone really wants to think about next year for school right now, or at least I don't, especially because I still haven't gotten over this concussion. But in terms of, you know, a pandemic, that is how I miss it. So, yeah. Okay, but pizza time. It's pizza time. Everyone in my family is on the phone talking to their respective friends, and I am alone. But I have someone very special with me, actually. It's my bag of Fritos. Fritos are so good. It's probably my favorite junk food. Oh my gosh, Fritos. I'm gonna have to try and ration this though, because we only have the one bag. I'm probably gonna try and hide it somewhere away in the house so no one else eats them, because they're my favorite snack. Hi guys, oh my gosh, it's Friday. It's Friday. I keep coming back here to talk about this book. I've never gone this crazy with tabs before. Like, I've run out of almost both packages of my tabs now. So I'm gonna have to find some more or create my own or something, because this is insane. I think I already mentioned that I want to restart this book literally right now from the beginning. I want to create a whole notebook about it. I want to fill every single page with every single detail. I've never met a book whose every sentence was full to the brim like the sentences in 100 Years of Solitude are. It's absolutely insane. It is challenging me so much, not only plot-wise, narrative-wise, time-wise, literally everything. It is a beautiful, wondrous challenge. It is tasking me so much, and it's really making me work for it, which I love because I haven't had an experience like this with a book for a little bit now. And I don't think it's really useful for me to try explaining this plot to you guys, or to try to tell you what part I am at the book or what page I'm on, because it just doesn't matter with this book. This book is just one big circle, and it's amazing. Every single sentence. There should be so many more tabs in this, realistically, and so many more sticky notes. So I really don't know if when I finish the audiobook, if I'm gonna start it over again with my own eyeballs. Some crazy part of my brain really, really wants to do that, because reading this book is kind of like that, you know, that meme template? It's like the guy, and he has a whiteboard marker, and then he has all his like crisscrossing strings and thumbtacks and papers and words on the wall, and he's like, yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about, but that's what like reading this book is like, and that's kind of what I feel like right now. Like 100 Years of Solitude. Oh my goodness. Hey there, it's actually Friday now, but I just wanted to come on here and end off this vlog because I think I'm gonna start a new one right now, because I just finished a book, which I guess you will have to wait and see what that book is. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you're good, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.